Hey everybody, my name is JJ Asgar and I'm a developer advocate for the IBM Cloud. Today I'm going to be playing around with something called Caddy, C-A-D-D-Y, Caddy 2 specifically, which is a open source web server built on Go. I've seen it pop up in a lot of different home or self-hosting sites and whatnot, and I've never actually used it. So I figured I'd make a little video here of me playing around with it, kind of going through this getting started guide, installing it on a CentOS 8 machine, and then just kind of playing with it to see what I can get done. I have no idea how far I'll get with this. I'll also just say I'm doing this truly live. So if you've never seen it before, this will be a great learning experience. But if you have seen it before, I'm just going to be going through the getting started guide to kind of understand it and kind of work from there. So let's get it going. So as you see here, this is the website. It is caddyserver.com. I'll be sure to put that in the notes at the bottom here of the YouTube video. And they have a getting started guide here, right here, how to getting started, which I already have open right here. So as you can see here, I have a machine called Caddy. There is nothing going on it right now. I just cloned the machine. So basically it's just a blank CentOS 7 machine. So the first thing that says is to go ahead and install it. So if you come over and bring the install docs here, I am going to be doing CentOS here. So I'll go ahead and do sudo su dash become root. And then I need to do a DNF install here. Now it is actually a, this is pulling something from Copper. If you didn't know what Copper is, it's basically the, what's a good word for it? It's the equivalent of like in Ubuntu Launchpad, where you can just kind of put your own packages out there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and enable that Copper Caddy repository to say that we want to actually get from it. And yes, I do want to trust it. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and do a DNF install Caddy. Here we go. And just make sure that we actually want to install it and it looks fine. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so take that public key and there we go. Now the neatest thing about this, from what I understand, is it truly is just a single binary. So in theory, after going through all this and getting it working, this would be really easy to take and put in front of any web application you might have, or have it load balance a handful of Docker containers or whatever. So in theory, I could spin up like an Nginx Podman container, which maybe I'll do at the end here, and then put Caddy in front of it, which I guess would be kind of redundant. But the idea is that I would have something listening on port 80, and then I'd have Caddy on the front end, reverse proxy to that. But we'll see how far we get with getting started guide first. Okay, so now that we've gone ahead and done it, so let's go ahead and just actually start it. And as you can see, we got all our help here, and that's all we're expecting. I'm curious, do I actually need to be root to do this? So let's go Caddy right here. No, we don't. So that's already pretty neat. So even though it is a daemon running, Caddy can run as an unprivileged user. So let's go ahead and run that now. Run. And as we can see here, and it looks like it's allowed from localhost here. So let's go ahead and run that, split my window, SSH back into that box. And if I do a curl localhost 2019, we get a 404 not found, but we actually saw it try to talk to it. So that's already a good win. So it's actually listening to something. There's no test website, which I thought is kind of weird, but we actually got something back. So we know it's actually running. All right, so let's go ahead and stop that. Okay, oh, so it actually tells me to go ahead and run it, and then do the /config, interestingly enough. And we come back with a null. There we go. We can even test the admin API. That we do a post against it. So to prepare the request, we need to make a new config. At the core, Caddy's is simply just a JSON document. So here is a simple JSON document. So let's go ahead and make a vim basic.json. Of course, it's not there. Set paste, period. Go ahead and copy all this, copy, and put this here. And then, let's see here. Oh no, that is not what I wanted. Let's try that again. Set paste, and then insert. There we go. And I'll save and quit. So now, if we go to cat basic, that is the file that we have over here. Looks like we created an HTTP server of an example listing on 2015 compared to the 2019 we did earlier. And then we have a static response of hello world. So this must be our hello world. That's good to know. So what we do to inject this, it looks like we do curl localhost into load. We do a post of JSON of this caddy.json. So, oops. So curl localhost 2019 load X as a post, H as a to create a header. I'm not going to type all that out. Copy to that, and then the data of at basic because I was lazy and JSON. There we go. It looks like we went ahead and, as we saw there, we actually did get a new autosave. Oh, that's neat. And also it did its TLS maintenance and the load complete and stopped at the previous server. Okay. So now we can go ahead and run that config again. Config. And we now have an actual output of our of the JSON document. It'll be interesting if there's a way to be able to put a password or something like that in front of this, because obviously that would be really bad if you just started hitting the curl for that. So let's go ahead and curl localhost 2015, and there's our hello world. Awesome. Okay, and then just because I want to see it at the end, and there's our autosave too. So it looks like it's actually smart enough to do that. Now, let's go ahead and kill this. Start it up again. And if I run this, aha! So if you noticed, even though we had an autosave, we did not actually reload it. So I wonder if there's a way to reload autosaves. Caddy reload autosave. Let's see here. I've already gone off script, and that's okay because that's part of the fun of this, right? I need to caddy autosave.json. So to disable it. So maybe there's a way to turn around. Do a persistent of false. That's not what I want. Interesting. Okay, well, I already went off on, took a left turn, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and inject it back in there, and then we'll curl and we get our hello world again. Okay, so now we create something called a caddy file. Okay, so the exact same thing of our basic JSON, all this jazz. If we create something called a caddy file, again, it's just VI. I can do port 2510 and then respond hello world. Okay, so now it looks like I have to stop it, do a Caddy adapt. Okay. Or if my file's somewhere else, I do that. And then we saw the output right there, which is good. So if we do a Caddy run now, and if I do my curl, there we go. Now, if you notice the lowercase w earlier, and now as we run it, it actually puts that in there too. That's pretty neat. Ah, here we go. The resume flag if a Caddy was previously loaded. Excuse me. Okay, so let's take a look at the JSON file first. The Caddy versus JSON file. So basically, they tried to create a wrapper on JSON to make life a little bit easier. That is true because there's a lot of ways to generate JSON from programmatically. But as you saw here with our Caddy file, that is pretty easy to read and good. So we'll probably end up having to read some of in our docs here, which we will take a moment to. Oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. We'll come back to that in a minute. All right. So because there's an API to it, we can just directly talk to it instead of having to do with our config files, which is always nice, and creating some stuff. Okay, cool. Although Caddy run is most commonly used and recommended, especially when making system service, you can also do start and have it run in the background. So let's go ahead and do that now. So if we do start, there we go. So if I do pswx grep Caddy, and there it is right now. So if I go ahead and do my curl, and it's still there. So if I do my 19 config, move permanently. Interesting. So let's try 192.43 config. 43 IPA grep inet 43, yeah. Oh, 2019. No. 2015. No. Again, because looks like we scoped it to just 000. So let's see if we go over here to Caddy file. Again, I just install vim 000, and then Caddy adapt, and then what was the command? It was to reload everything. Was it -- resume? Yes. Caddy start help. Reload help. Reload. Ooh, there we go. Something happened. So by me doing something to that Caddy file, it looks like I broke it. So if I go up to root now, and then do cd home admin, and do caddy reload. Didn't like that either. Interesting. Okay, so caddy stop. All right, it stopped. So if we do start again, it really didn't like it now. Interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead and vi caddy file again, remove all that, adapt, and then start. And then if I do Caddy status, nope, that would be too easy. If I do the curl down here, there we go. So the curl gave me that again, and okay. So already off topic, I'm sorry, but that was interesting because I tried to open it up to everybody and it didn't like it. Okay. Oh, here we go. Reload the config. Okay, so it is Caddy reload, which is what we did by accident, which is exactly what we needed. Interesting. So if I come over here and do a Caddy file, and let's do colon 2020, and then respond with goodbye world. If I do a Caddy reload or Caddy adapt, so it actually reads it, A-D-A-P-T, adapt. It did not like that. So let's go back to our Caddy file and looks like it needs to be curly braces. Okay, so if we come back over here, and then we'll do brace, stay space, and that, and then this, and then that, and then we'll go ahead and adapt that. There we go, that looks a little bit better. And then we'll go ahead and reload. Okay, so then if we curl local host, there we go. So now we have successfully opened up hello world and goodbye world on 2 different ports, giving back a static response. Okay. Now, how do we get it to all ports? Because if I come here now, I will not see. Yes, as you see, it's still not listening on all ports. So how do we open that up? We'll get to the HTTPS in a little bit. Static file server. Ooh, I'm curious to see what that does. Let's do vim caddy file. Again, it's not vimjj. And then we'll do port 2021 of, that is file serve browse. File serve browse. So when we do reload, that'll work. Just like we were expecting. Still not seeing how to get this to all ports though. Site address, comments. How do you open it up on all? Because if you notice, it's all saying localhost, which is weird. So Caddy reload. There we go. And we were on port Caddy file 2021. So if I do curl localhost 2021, there's a bunch of stuff there, but I still can't. Caddy server all IPs. Sure, all IP. Access by the V. There we go. Looks like a star. Okay, so it's ping. It's tying just directly to. This should allow me to do any port. Interesting. All right, so we're coming close to 30 minutes, which is fine. Or it's actually 20 minutes, but I only got 10 more minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and stop just because I'm curious to see where this goes. So let's just do that, that, and that. And then Caddy reload. PSWX grep Caddy. Still running. But doesn't like it. Maybe star? Reload. Adapting subject does not qualify for Caddy 000. Here we go. Find. So if I do okay, come back here. Oops. Need this, that, then do bind 000. Try that. Unrecognized. Why is this not obvious? I'll come back to that in a minute. Interesting. Okay, well, maybe when I, so interestingly enough, that was not what I was expecting, but I did spend the handful of minutes here trying to get this done. So I went to the basic quick and start, and I was able to actually get Caddy to do some stuff for me. But in the next video that I create here, I will get the multiple ports running, and I'll probably put this machine out on the actual internet, so then I can try to get some HTTPS going to it, and then maybe even put an application behind it. So hopefully this will be relatively easy, and wait for part 2. Thanks so much.